Oh my God. I'm in the middle of somewhere in Poland. I'm near Tarnow on my way to the Happy Village. And I'm surrounded by corn. But more importantly, and I had to jump out of the car because in between these cornfields and the power lines, this is a random cemetery right here. Look at this. And it's also right across the street as well. There's another one. So I figured we'd just kind of pop in and just see what is going on here. And guess what? It's in English. So this is like a major spot. So first of all, look at this. It's awesome. It's awesome in its own right. So this cemetery was designed by Robert Matka. And I'll just pan it right here. And the memorial above is 11 meters high, and he put a sermon on it, and one of them reads, "As the dawn promises the sun rising, so from our wounds the streams connecting purple heralded the day of victory." These tombstones are from World War I. From December 1914 to February 1915. Wow. You can see the just very green grass, and wow, this is really cool. It's quite a find, actually. Well, you guys know it's a find because I love cemeteries. And I guess fittingly, there's a lone poppy right here. And I think this is lavender, or maybe not. Maybe you guys can tell me. And I don't know if these are specific soldiers, or because they're saying like from the 1st Russian infantry, I think is what this is right here. And then you have the German ones, I think, on the other side. And then back here, again, more of a memorial in general. But the last thing I wanted to show, though, which I just think is really cool, is look at the corn. Wow. What a cool resting spot. And now there's one more part too. We're going to cross over the road and I'll show you this one. We just crossed over from the cemetery that we were just in, crossed the busy road. It's really not that busy. And again, I'm in a cornfield right across the street. And now here's another cemetery. I forget the cemetery number, but this one that we're going to is a Russian cemetery with, I think, 210 soldiers in a mass grave. What I liked about it, and this is why we actually stopped, is it just, when you're coming down the road, it kind of catches your eyes with the trees and the 4 crosses. And now just imagine during the height of the summer or like early fall, when all this corn is grown up. I was going to make some witty comment about, or maybe not so witty, about the how it's fitting that in between 2 cemeteries the ground is so fertile to grow. So in death you get life. So I was reading more about this cemetery, and as I cut up, it's not really the most user-friendly to walk in, but it's got 5 mass graves and 3 individual ones. And what I like about it is that, at least in Poland, what they did is they made this nice sign. So if you were to come visit, you can read it in English or in German, Russian, or in the Italian language. It's really cool. And then again, they have the nice design. It's very, very eerie. Like, in a way, it's cool, but it's eerie. So the bulk of the graves are right here. Huh. So this is what happens when you're on your way to the Happy Village. You never know what you're going to see. A little bit of history. And corn. And even though those graves are not marked, it's a mass grave, I think it's a cool resting spot. A nice resting spot. And it's like all these trees, they're standing watch. I love it. And the corn. And the corn. All right, onwards. Not far from the cemeteries, on my way to the Happy Village, is the other village of Nieciecza, or Nieciecza, or something like that. Anyway, in this really random spot, though, you go through all these cornfields, but look, there's elephants. There's one right here. There's these giant, massive soccer balls. I'm not sure why they're so big, but it goes to the Nieciecza Bruk-Bet Stadium. Now, I am not a big fan of football, but I am a fan of elephants. So, I guess they must be the elephants. I don't know. Let's look. Look, a new friend. It's not moving, though. It's very sad. It's really kind of surreal to be here because you have this huge complex. Again, for the Bruk-Bet for the elephants. But then you look across over there, corn, swooping weather front. It's probably going to rain some more. It's cool. And we can't get into the stadium, but I am going to show you a little glimpse. Now, honestly, I probably would go to a game here. I've never been to a game, but I like the orange seats. And who wouldn't want to cheer for the elephants? I mean, come on. But here's the thing. If they're elephants, are they any good? Or are they just slow and just like to play with the ball? Well, according to my triptych thing, I got about 10 more minutes until I'm in Happy Town. And in a preview of Happy Town, look at all the flowers. Whoops, wrong way. Look at all those flowers. Gorgeous. Well, the nice thing is that if the Happy Tour sucks, I mean, if the Happy Village is not happy enough for us, I know that didn't sound right. Look at this right here. I think I have found one of the coolest things I have seen in all of Poland. Are these astroturf elephants? Or is this grass? Look at them. I have seen some weird stuff, but this isn't weird. This is just awesome. I mean, look at them. It's like grass. That's so cool. I was trying to figure out what was next to it. So this is really weird. Again, it's kind of like, so you have a cemetery right here. There's a church, probably for the cemetery in the background. We just passed the elephants. We passed my brand new soccer stadium that I wanted to go to a game to if I was actually here. But look at the front. Look at the front coming across. So the question is this: will I get to Happyville before the rain comes? And how many people would run through this field right now? Would anyone run through this? Anyone? Well, with poppies growing along the field, and wheat and other produce, I'm seeing glimpses of my happy town that I don't remember the name of it. I know it starts with a Z. I want to call it Zappy, but it's not. But what I want to show you, and you can see right here, this is what we're getting to. This is where we're going, is where everything is painted. These flowers just trying to show up. These freestanding flower designs, hand-painted. Yeah, and see, they have them on all four sides. And as they wear away, someone comes and paints again. It's a tradition that's been carried on for generations since the early 19th century. So here we are at the entrance to Zalipie. Zalipie? I want to call it Zappy. I know it's not. I think it's Zalipie. But again, look at the flowers. All these are handmade, and then I'm sure that they are repainted as necessary. just something cute, something folk art. So now we're gonna. I have like a bug on me. Anyway, we got about a kilometer. For you Americans, a little more than a half a mile towards what else this village has to offer. So I decided to park right in front of this sign right here where they say not to park, but in true Zalipie fashion, I think this is the fire department right here, and they have flowers right in front of it. Here, we'll get a little closer so you can see, because this is what makes it special, are these little, well, that and the beer can that and the beer bottles they have out front. But look at the flowers right here. Oops, here. Hey, camera, don't be a dick. There you go. Beautiful. Right up there. What do you... There you go. It's like you have a mind of your own today there, camera. Now, because this is a village, everything's kind of spread out a little bit, so you have to be ready to walk. And you have to be prepared to feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. So, I don't know if this was the chapel or not, but you'll see on the side, again, some beautiful flower designs. And then up here, so what's special about this community is not only do you have the flower designs, you will note not only do they have flowers on the outside, they also have them inside many of these homes. So some of you might be thinking, hey John, how do we get here? Well, from Krakow you can drive. I think that's the easiest, and then you can just kind of pop off and do different things. It's like an hour. It says an hour and 15, it's more like an hour and a half. Or you can take the train to Tarnow and then take the bus from Tarnow over here. I don't know. It's really up to you. I mean, as you're looking at, we are in farm country. If I close my eyes, I might think I'm in Delaware right now with my dear Uncle Joe. So I wonder if the person that did these flowers is the one that also is in front of the fire station. But again, just some decorative flowers that they painted on the outside of these houses. And the reason why that they did this is there was so much soot, I guess, that they were trying, this is back in like the 19th century, there was so much soot that they decided that the women in the village were like, it just was a little bit depressing among some other reasons. So they would paint it over in white. They would paint over the soot. And then someone came up with the idea of, hey, why don't we paint some flowers? And that's where it caught on, and now here we are. And while I should probably be focusing on these flower houses, look at the wheat field. I've never been in a wheat field before. So here's my question. Can I just eat this straight, or do I have to actually do something to it? I kind of want to run through it. It's awesome. When you turn down the street to hit more of these houses, they're kind of further apart than one would think. And while you have some like older houses, like this one right here, then you have like newer ones across the street. This guy's busy at work, where, I don't know, it doesn't have the same folksy feel that I'm looking for. All right, so there's one house that actually has a gate that's wide open for us to go through. So we're going to pop on in and see what this is all about. I actually don't mind the light rain because it feels little colorful benches, and then they've even painted the well. And they painted the pail even. It's really cool. It's like wherever they could paint flowers, they have. Then directly across, you'll see they have painted flowers on the stable, on this beautiful bench, and even on this little house that could be for a dog, a cat, I don't know. Could be for many things. Okay.
This was the first thing. Kiedy tak zaczynało ta tradycja?
Przed początkiem XIX wieku.
Okay,
Chociaż pierwsze wzmianki były dużo wcześniej. Jakieś tam się po prostu kobiety malowały sobie jakieś kwiaty, no ale tego po prostu nie ujawniały, nie brały w konkursie i w ogóle.
To do brakuje.
so cute. So it's been in her family for like what? For like over 100 years. That's pretty.
Niech Państwo się wpiszą tam do książki.
Ja
Nazwę do gatunków.
Okay. To sobie zobaczę. In the book of guests.
So it's more like it's what we would call this in the States would be it would be a form of stenciling, is what this is. But I know that it's different here. That they're not using a stencil. They actually just they set up the line, if you will, and then it's all freehand. Look at all the flowers. It's so cool. So this right here is like a traditional stove, if you will. Underneath here is where you could boil your water and stuff like that. And you would feed wood into there. And probably you would get enough heat to make this entire room quite nice and toasty. As I nestle up to the flowers here, the woman who showed us this home, this house has been in her family for 65 years, and she's been passing on. Her grandmother, her grandmother's grandmother passed it on to the grandmother passed it on to her, and now she's showing her own daughter how to do all the flower paintings. So, not far from that house, if you just walk down the street, it's really not that far down, what you'll find is you'll have a lot of newer homes, and those newer homes try to have the same vibe, but honestly, for me, it doesn't have the same feeling as, say, this right here, where they painted the fence, and then you come up and you can see this is an older house, where this one would have been around here like 65 years ago. And even the well, like this is something that they do. Again, they paint the wells. And me, never wanting to be a tourist, do you like that? I was doing the poses so it'll show up on my thumbnail. Like, I'd rather, again, come over to this area and see how these designs are all a little bit different. You can see where they had to replace the wood. But what I like is even on the barn door right here. That's cool. And I think, as someone who's not really as familiar with folk art, I think this is a pretty neat spot to go and check out. There's actually a museum for the most famous one farther down, but it also appears to be more people. So my method. We'll avoid that and just see if we can find something else. I wanted to add one more thing here. I forget what this is. If this is is it lavender? I'm trying to think. Like, see, this is kind of cool. Just some traditional stuff. You have the horseshoe right here. Okay, the horseshoe is right here, and then this right here. I think that's for Christmas, so that I can get a kiss when I walk in the door. Or maybe people that actually know what that is, they can put in the comments and tell me what that flower's for. I'm going to go with Christmas for right now, even though I know it's not the case. And now here's a different vantage point of this house. I really like this. But again, I like it because it looks more antique. I don't like it on the newer houses where they only put it on a couple spots and it looks like it's forced. Now, across the street, we're kind of walking across my wheat fields right here that I absolutely love and adore. But this is me getting off the beaten path. Well, I like the flower houses. Look at this right here. You probably can't see it in the background. There's some sheep. But what I wanted to show you, and this is something that's more commonplace in the more rural parts of Poland, and hopefully they don't take offense to this, but where people have their own shrines to marry or to loved ones that have passed. For me, this is what more rural part of Poland is, and I love this. Hey, here's the wheat again. a short walk down from there, you come across the most important thing, which is the map of Zalipie and the different landmarks. And then, of course, also right next to it here is the major homes you can go and visit. I kind of want to see this one with the blue, but it looks, yeah. Anyway, so it tells you where you can look, and then it shows you in the town the different houses that have some sort of flowers that are set up for them. Look at this. Pretty cool, huh? And then, even in their compost pile, I mean, we're really going to ham this one up. See the compost pile? Has the same flowers on it. This little shed right here. Another well. They even painted the tree. There's a fountain over here. And then, my favorite, how about some real beautiful flowers, right? And look at this. See, this is cute. I caved and I walked into the building right across from it. This is Dome Malarek. And if you look, they put flowers everywhere in here. So you'll note all the different for the designs. They painted all of these. And note up here, the ceiling. I feel like we're in a church today, but it's a church to flowers. My footage doesn't really do it well. It doesn't do it the justice that it deserves. But you'll note all up here. And then what they did is, which is really cool, they have there's a collage for all the houses in this area and the different types of artwork that they have. Totally skipped over the peacock. And then you look right here, more traditional rooms. And then again, you look down the hallway right here, just a lot of beautiful traditional art. It's beautiful. And then if you look right here, they have some vintage photographs from like 1950 right here, another 1950. And then there's a woman right here who's painting the side of her house in 1963. I don't want to be too much of like a weirdo, but down those rooms over there, there's actually women that are learning how to do this. They're learning what the actual craft is. So, pretty cool. So I hope that this tour today, a brief one, while it is, but probably isn't as brief as I think it is, at least gives you another idea of somewhere you can travel in Poland. Definitely worth just like a little drive-through to take a look. And if you're into flowers on houses, the way to go. So thank you for visiting the old World War I cemeteries with me, looking at the elephants, and then, of course, Flower Town, home of Zappy, or Zalipie. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.